Munich, October 1970. Meeting at the invitation of an Austrian road hauler, Mr. Röhrl, 8 combined transport companies from Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Holland, Italy, Sweden and Switzerland decide to join forces and share their skills in view of developing combined transport services, especially at the international level. An umbrella association is set up to this effect. The UIRR is founded, an initiative that will over the years prove ever more remarkable and ever more necessary. In 1970, Europe was still 6 nations, but soon the European community would grow from 9 in 1973 to 10 in 1981, 12 in 1986, and then to 15. But the UIRR held its own and counterattacked to the east, starting with Slovenia and Hungary. It resolutely took the lead and can today count 21 members in 19 different countries. But in the background of what is only the appearance of a race was to be found a fundamental UIRR challenge, that of creating an ever-growing yet coherent group of companies sharing one and the same vocation, the provision of reliable, quality and cost competitive and environmentally friendly combined transport services. But let's just back up a little to take a brief look at what combined transport is all about. Accompanied combined transport, known as the rolling road or rolling motorway, is when the truck driver takes the train with his truck. It is simple and necessarily limited to relatively short distances, but it permits a conventional truck to link regions or countries by train where no transshipment yards can be found suited for non-accompanied solutions, or to cross ecologically sensitive zones by rail. For a number of them, accompanied transport also represents a first step towards unaccompanied combined transport. Unaccompanied transport stands for swap bodies, containers or semi-trailers that can get around on their own, after having been carefully separated from their motherships at specially organized terminals. Accounting for about 80% of all combined transport, it's by far the most widespread technique. More recently, a new concept has come along, the bimodal technique, whereby the semi-trailer itself becomes a railway wagon for as long as it has to travel by rail. Transport's contribution to the general well-being can be seen everywhere. The individual's mobility, the facilitating of trade and distribution of goods, regional specialization with concurrent economies of scale. But the mode of transport that has really taken off has been road haulage. In fact, benefiting as it does from the lorry's flexibility of access and the constant upgrading of materials, road haulage nowadays represents more than 70% of all goods traffic in Europe. And it's as well to remember the beneficial effects of intramodal competition between road hauliers. Such competition is indeed often fierce, but always effective, and it has given rise to ever more competitive offers in terms of both quality and price. But the downside of this success soon became apparent. Road haulage companies, just like all their fellow motorists, are finding themselves today accused of being polluters and taken to account for their contribution to the greenhouse effect, to growing traffic congestion, and to the excessive consumption of non-renewable energy sources. Already in the late 60s, road transporters felt they'd have to develop systems of transport that integrated different modes and that could guarantee the kind of mobility that was increasingly under threat. The expansion in goods traffic, estimated at 50% by 2010, indicates that they were justified in the move. These were the pioneers of combined transport in creating private companies called UIRR operators, in which they would hold a majority capital share and whose sole objective would be the promotion of this technique. They provided the real impetus for the all but self-evident cooperation between competing road and rail modes. In the UIRR scheme, the operators take responsibility for the organization and the marketing of all terminal-to-terminal services, while the road transporters, shareholders or non-shareholders, look after everything both before and after the operations at and between terminals. With us, it's also the road transporters who take exclusive care of all commercial dealings with the shippers, who are at the source of the traffic, thus maintaining control of the transport. This essential characteristic makes our formula's success. Our member companies are not merely sales intermediaries between road and rail undertakings. They make concrete contributions to the combined transport product itself, since they supply more than 11,500 of the wagons in use, run many and even own some of the terminals served, and provide standardized documentation and communication systems. Railway undertakings, for their part, provide us with the key link in the combined transport chain, rail traction and related services. It is therefore no surprise that it is with our railway partners that we are in most regular direct contact for the sake of perfecting the product. We're proud to have rewarding records in various areas. In the technical field, remarkable progress has been accomplished by originally the UIRR's Technical Committee, instituted in 1970, and then the Joint and the Inter-Unit Committees that were subsequently set up to closely involve our rail partners. Improvements to loading units have meant the adapting since 1977 of the semi-trailer, initially transported on kangaroo wagons, into vertical cramp lifting devices. The progressive development since the early 70s, first in Germany and in France, of the swap body, which has gone on to represent 70% of units currently in use. When it comes to rolling stock, the need to harmonize road and rail transport units in terms of weights, dimensions and performances has led to successive wagon improvements. Pocket wagons for the forwarding of semi-trailers, container wagons, and low-loader wagons for the rolling road. As for the transshipment yards or terminals, we've taken an active part both in planning them and in readying them for the gradual supplanting of everything except rolling road by vertical rather than by horizontal transfer systems. Like all commercial ventures, the cohabitation between road and rail orchestrated by our operators can only succeed if the product itself can compete well with what's on offer elsewhere on the market. This is Access Management and Quality Group's permanent concern. Not only are we always on the lookout for new market openings, we are also striving towards rapidly replacing, at our own financial risk, distribution or wagon load traffic by more global rail solutions. By handling hundreds of full trains and shuttles every week, as well as so-called gateway operations, we do offer a product that is competitive throughout the European continent and which enables our clients to benefit from large-scale economies while at the same time guaranteeing them better control over transportation. The creation of standards, messages and uniformly adopted codes, as well as the CIM UIRR Common Consignment Note, are some of the steps we have taken towards our constant goal, fluent transport systems. Thanks to the progress of information technology, new forms of communication are becoming a reality, such as the forthcoming César project, aimed at creating a virtual company through which clients can book transport space and get information on the exact geographical position of their consignments. Governments, recognizing the UIRR members' expertise in the field and the coherence of interests we represent, have always been keen to involve us in the difficult political debate on the future of transport. In 1991, the UIRR converted from an actual association into a cooperative company under Belgian law, chose Brussels as its home base, and appointed a permanent staff. Its role as professional porte-parole for the combined transport industry has been reinforced by this, particularly with the European Community staff, which has its headquarters there, and whose support and backing for combined transport by way of projects and research programs deserves mention. With the ECMT in Paris and the UN's Geneva-based Economic Commission for Europe, the UIRR is in constant and interactive dialogue, in view of coming to the most opportune framework conditions. Unswerving attention from the media, echoing our achievements, our statements and our expectations, has also proven more than valuable over the years and has enabled us in turn to view our action in the broader scope of transport and of transport policy. From 1970 until the present day, the number of consignments, that is, of equivalents to one full lorry load, has risen from 200,000 to over 2.1 million. That represents almost 5 million 20-foot equivalent units. Picture a continuous line 270 kilometers long of lorries removed from the road infrastructure, who would otherwise each working day have taken up the roads of Europe, each one over an average distance of around 700 kilometers. Now that, since 1992, the volume of international traffic has overtaken that of national traffic, the vocation of combined transport, more massive loads over longer distances, is definitively established. Recent results do show a slowdown, for well-known reasons. This must and will be only of a temporary nature. With the planned implementation of sound competition, also on rails, so that we can pursue our long-lasting cooperation with our traditional railway partners under new and better terms. Fair external and infrastructure cost allocation to all modes. Improved rail access for freight operations through interoperability and protection of allocated slots. With the reliability of the product under recovery, and with the hundreds of men and women at UIRR eager to get back to the former rates of expansion, our 30th anniversary looks set to be the continuation of a remarkable success story.